sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, just go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and keep up to date. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store button, pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug. We even have Reaver jerseys and SHR Media jerseys and many other items to choose from. And today is Wednesday. That means at 8 o'clock tonight, that's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com, we will have Reaver After Dark, hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash. So, congratulations, Ted Cruz. It was a good win. And I know how he won it, and don't take it as complaining. But if you look at the map, it's kind of funny. Cruz won the big city areas, which is smart. That's where the most of the population is. That's where he got most of the votes from. And Trump won, pretty much the rest of the area. I think, just off the top of my head, I think Cruz won like 5 counties. But he won the smart ones. He won the big city, big population areas. Nothing wrong with that. Congratulations. We'll see how it goes. It's now going to go into the Northeast corridor. And, well, now you're starting to hit Trump's home area. I know they keep saying that Kasich, that's a good area. You're going into the Northeast corridor of the United States where Trump has a name. Trump has a huge name in that area. Most people do not know who the hell Kasich is. I know Ohio's right there. But when you're talking the Northeast corridor, you're talking not Ohio. So, he doesn't have that big of a name recognition. I know now he has one, but people really didn't know. We know about Trump. We know about who he is, and he has the same kind of attitude that we have in the area. Ugh. Well, I'm not huge into baseball, but since it's opening season, it's the opening week or something like that, I got my Phillies on. Now, the big one game is tonight. It is, which is messed up because I got the show. Well, not messed up, but you know what I mean. Last Wednesday, the Flyers played, and tonight, the Flyers will play Red Wings. And they're trying to stay in the running for the wild card on the playoff spot. And they got, 4 games counting tonight to go. They're in there, but they're in there by 1 point. So, they love giving their fans heart attacks. Now, most people have seen it. And if you're looking at it objectively, and you're looking at it with open eyes, you will see that most of these Most of these protesters are the ones that are making the Trump rallies violent. You got a lot of patriotic people that are going to the Trump rallies. And then you get these people, these anti-Trump protesters, and they start stomping on the American flag outside all these places. And it happened recently outside a Trump town hall meeting, and it's... What pisses me off is the GOP isn't standing behind him even on that point. They're not even just standing up and saying, hey, wait a minute, this we're going to stick up for him. This is out of hand. And I mean, it's to the point, what the hell, the chairman, Priebus, take a listen to this real quick, okay?
Things that take building in within the party. And by the way, this is a nomination for the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the party, then sit down. I mean, the party...
If you don't like the party, sit down. This is what he's telling his base, his supporters of the Republican Party. He acts like he is the owner of the Republican Party. He acts like he is the Republican Party. He is not. The people are the Republican Party. Let me play that again one more time.
Building in within the party. And by the way, this is a nomination for the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the party, then sit down. I mean, the party is choosing a nominee.
Well, let's talk about
the party is choosing the nominee. This is a self-destruction. And Priebus is leading the charge on the self-destruction. I have seen time and time again, I cannot confirm because I'm not going to go looking up people's records, but I'm seeing people leave now the Republican Party because of him, because of people like him that are making those types of comments. They are screwing themselves over. They're pissing off their base. And if Trump doesn't get it, if he gets beat by Ted Cruz, he gets beat by Ted Cruz. Hey, if Ted Cruz is able to get to 1237, fine. I would be good with that. I'll be fine with that. But if Trump goes in there, and here's another thing I'm getting tired of, because I got in an argument and someone was trying to insult my intelligence, which is kind of funny. Majority. Because he doesn't have majority. The definition of majority is a noun, the greater number. The greater number. Not 51%. The greater number. And everybody keeps going, oh, no. He doesn't have majority. Yes, he does. He has a majority of the votes right now. He has the greater number of votes. And what's funny is I copy and pasted this when I was in a discussion with the person, and they're insulting me, saying I don't understand basic English, and I'm pasting the definition, the greater number. Larger part number, greater part number, best, better part, most, more than half. The greater number. I'm getting tired. Well, he doesn't have majority. Yes, he does. He has the majority of the votes. He has the majority of the delegates. And if he goes in there with the majority, and if he's just shy, if he doesn't get to 1237 and they go into this contested convention, which pisses me off, fine, that's the rules. But when I hear Ted Cruz running his mouth, well, if it's contested convention, I understand that, and I have no problem with that. But brokered convention, no, because he can get knocked out of the brokered convention. That he doesn't want, but he has no problem losing the vote and then getting a nomination. And the motto that he's going by nowadays is not, let's win, it's, let's stop Trump. Is that the kind of president you want that doesn't want to win? That doesn't have a fighting attitude? His whole mentality, let's stop Trump. Yes, that's my motto. Let's stop Trump. And then you have this little dickhead, Wisconsin dickhead,
building within the party. And by the way, this is a nomination for the Republican Party. If you don't like the party, then sit down.
And if you don't like your people questioning, step down from chairman. If you don't like the people who are the Republican Party, step down. These people, all that has gone to their head. They think they're more than they are. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. You're going to push people out of the party, and you're going to have fucking nobody. How much of an idiot are you to sit there and say that? They think that they are above the people. It has gone to their head. And he talked about in that interview, well, back 150, 200 years ago, this is how it was done, this, and this. Yeah, also explain why it was done that way. Why the contested convention and the brokered convention. Because sometimes you would have 40 different people that were elected in states. Well, in individual states. Maybe not that many, but I'm pretty sure you understand. Because they didn't travel around like they do today. You know, trying to ride around on horse and get to all the states. And trying to get through all the different areas of a state. That's a feat. So a lot of states would elect a local person. And then they would have to sit down and say, okay, well, this state elected Joe Schmo. That one elected Johnny Come Lately. That one elected a retard named Priebus. And this one elected a jackass Kasich. So we got to sit down and see who's the best person out of that to run for president. They forget to tell the people that part. And back then, these positions, most of them didn't want these positions because they had farms, they had businesses to take care of, they had land to plant, sow and hoe and all that. These people who do this as a career, they're the ones that screw up the whole party. Well, I've about had it. I know I keep saying it, but I'm trying to stick it out for this election, and hopefully, a lot of this is just a lot of dust up for nothing, but you know what? I'm getting sick and tired when you got the chairman saying that. Chairman, you sit down. You step down. Because you're way out of line at this point. And it pisses me off.
Things that take building within the party. And by the way, this is a nomination for the Republican Party. If you don't like the party, then sit down. I mean, the party is choosing a nominee.
Well, let's talk about that because it certainly sounded a few days ago, that all of the candidates were backing away from the pledge. And this,
I wanted to play the whole thing for you. But I'm sick and tired. That's not the first time we've heard it this election season. And it's getting tired of these politicians. Now they're admitting that they don't want our input on who should run. You have Harry Reid on the Democrat side saying, yeah, we need superdelegates because we don't want certain states electing who the next nominee will be. We don't want these white people picking out who's going to be the nominee. I think we're almost time. And yes, we do have the right to overtake our government. The government is supposed to answer to us, not the other way around. They are supposed to serve us. We are not supposed to serve them. And when comes a time that we feel that the government must be restarted, it is our duties as citizens to do that. Now, I'm not talking let's start a revolution, but it's the government tries to act anymore like they are the end-all, be-all, and they're not. They're supposed to answer to us and not the other way around. And I don't know about anybody else. And I've gotten told, you do not have the right to overthrow the government. There's nothing in the documents that say that. That's how brainwashed people have gotten over the years. Let's see. I'm trying to look for the exact quote. Let's go to Reaver.1. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired. It's time we put the government in their place. We put the politicians in their place. We need to set this country back to the people controlling it. All right, because I've been told time and time again, we do not have a right to overtake the government and restart a government. Original document, the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. In other words, they only get the power that we allow them to have. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such forms as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. We now have a government that wants its consent from the ones in power. They are to answer to us and not the other way around. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. It is not the government's job. It is the people. When we said we have had enough, it's time to start over again. It is our right, and the politicians have nothing to say when the people speak up. And I'm going to use a term that is not directly towards Trump. There is many people in this country that have been silent for years. And we are the majority, but we have been silent. And we need to stand up and tell the government no more and put them in their place. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on HB Pundit Radio and SHR Media. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. and just click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream or live show. I got to change that on the website so it's all one thing. If you would like, or if you like this live stream, please hit subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to support the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, pick yourself up a coffee mug, T-shirts, bags, got a bunch of different stuff. Check it out. So, as I was going on to earlier that I totally deviated from, the anti-Trump protesters stomp American flag outside of Trump Town Hall. The anti-Trump protesters stomped on the American flag outside of Fox News Town Hall with GOP frontrunner Donald Trump on Sunday. Fox News reports the atmosphere outside the Town Hall event location at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee's main stage theater was tense and aggressive. An anti-Trump protester was captured stomping on an American flag and then confronted U.S. military members and bystanders. Police calmed the scene. Now, here's what's funny. Not funny, but... And this one pisses me off a little bit. Then they blame the Trump supporters are being violent when they're confronted by these protesters that are mostly paid for, which doesn't make them protesters. Bernie Sanders supporters. Black Lives Matter members. They're going there to start trouble. But then it gets blamed onto Donald Trump and his supporters. They're being confronted by people. People are starting problem. There's the old saying, don't start shit if you don't want no shit. Tactics like that definitely do get people upset in this country, and people of all political stripes, not just Republicans, do not like the stomping of the American flag. I hate it. It's disgusting. I want to put my foot up their ass when they do it. But it's illegal to stop them right now. It's their right. And that's where a lot of us have to understand. We're always screaming Constitution and people's rights. Well, even though we do not like it, that is still their right to do that. Whether we like it or not, they have the right. It is sick, and they do it just to start trouble. They do it just to start shit with people. So then the media starts showing all the violence, and then where do they do? They point the finger at Trump. It's all his fault. They don't point out, even Fox, none of them point out that these protesters are showing up and they're doing it just to cause issues. And nobody in the mainstream media wants to report that. Now, Mexico and all these countries bash on the United States on how we treat the illegal alien migration. They bash us saying we need to treat them and take care of them and house them and all that. Well, Mexico has been caught torturing Central Americans and others in an effort to stop illegal alien immigration. Yes, Mexico does have that problem of illegal immigration on the south end of their country. They've already put up a wall to stop some of the inflow, and it's also hurting people's work. Because these illegal immigrants are coming into Mexico and doing the job even cheaper than Mexicans, putting Mexicans out of work and dropping the hourly wage. But yet they don't want us stopping the influx into the United States. But immigration officials in Mexico have been reported to be torturing South Americans and others in an effort to stop the illegal aliens from coming into their country. It has been reported that immigration activists say that Mexico's National Institute of Migration is conducting itself like an unchecked police force that is systematically using torture against detainees. It is also reported that naive Mexicans are being detained and threatened with deportation as a result of an effort to crack down on illegal alien migrating from Central America. As part of the report, it was cited that Juan Menze, the United Nations reporter who writes about torture, Juan presented a report to the UN in March of 2015 about after touring Mexico. It reportedly revealed beatings, electric shock, suffocation, waterboarding, forced nudity, rape, as well as threats and insults. And we're looked down upon on how we treat because we deport them out of our country. We're looked down upon because we do not take care of them. We're looked down upon because we do not allow it to happen. We do not have an open border. But then Mexico goes and does even worse. They're torturing these people. Outright torturing illegal immigrants migrating into Mexico, and Mexico does not like it. Oh my God. It boggles my mind. They're going to bash us. And we have people in our own country bashing us because we want to deport these illegal aliens. We don't want them tortured. We don't want to rape them, forced nudity, waterboarding, suffocation, electric shocks. We don't even want them beaten. We just want to deport them. And we're evil? Yeah, you need to look at what's going on at our borders and what they're doing about their illegal immigration. Because I'm getting tired of this victim playing by Mexico, that they're this big victim, and we need to take care of them when they're not the victim. At that time, it was reported that his account links torture in Mexico to government efforts to combat the country's drug cartels. It was also attributed to actions to slash immigration into Mexico to be driven in part by political pressure and financial aid from the United States. The publication stated that Barack Obama declared the surge of young illegal aliens in 2014 to be a humanitarian crisis. It was reported in 2014 that he had obtained internal federal government photos depicting the conditions of the unoccupied alien children being housed by authorities in the United States. He wrote, thousands of illegal immigrants have overrun U.S. border security and their processing centers in Texas along the U.S.-Mexico border. Unaccompanied minors, including young girls under the age of 12, are making the dangerous journey from Central America and Mexico through cartel-controlled territories and across the porous border into the United States. An 18-year-old Alberto was reported to have been placed in a room with 4 agents where he was tortured. He was allegedly told that unless he signed paperwork admitting that he was Guatemalan, he would be killed. He was quoted as saying, one pushed me, another was kicking my leg, and a third, who was very fat, gave me an electric shock right here on the back of my hand. He said, I really thought I was going to die. His 2 sisters were with him on a bus traveling to another place in Mexico to work as seasonal workers when immigration agents got on the bus to do a check. His sisters are from a tiny community in Chiapas, in the southern region of Mexico. The immigration officers demanded that they show their immigration papers. When they did, they were accused of lying about their citizenship and carrying false papers. The girls were reportedly told that they were going to be deported to Guatemala. The girl, who spoke a Mayan language and only a very little Spanish, was taken into immigration center. But the United States is the big evil. I get tired of hearing that. I get tired because we want to deport people. We're so evil. We have some of the best immigration laws and the way we treat our illegal immigrants. Compared to other countries, we are the gold standard. We are not the only one that is having the problem, but everybody is telling us that we need to take them in. We need to take care of them. The 3 family members were held by immigration officers for 8 days before they were helped by a lawyer who got them released. The clampdown, allegedly dubbed the Southern Border Plan, was reported to be responsible for the creation and implication of these mobile immigration teams. This account detailed that while those patrolling did not carry weapons, they often worked closely with armed private security officers, police officers, and soldiers. In Mexico, you get caught being in their country illegally. No bueno, no good. I mean, it's not just, okay, we're going to deport you, we're going to send you back. You're going to get put in a prison for a while. You don't want to be in a Mexican prison. Everybody bitches about Trump wanting to build a wall. That wall is supposed to have been built. It was already approved years ago. But politicians, as I've said, have dragged their feet. Because if they don't correct the problem, then they have something to bitch about and accuse the other party of doing. Oh, my God, it's election season. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go on the border. We're going to go about guns. And it's the same shit year after year after year at election. The same shit over and over and over and over again. They don't want to fix this immigration issue. What would they complain about? If the Republicans are so much for securing the border, why are they being funded by open border groups? Why are they being funded and paid off by open border advocates? They don't want to fix that border. They want it just the way it is so that they can keep bitching and moaning every election. And what you don't understand is these advocacy groups for open borders are making billions of dollars a year off this. They get paid by the government to take care of these people. They get paid by the government to feed them, house them. Remember, Obama was offering, I think it was $5,000 a month for anybody that took in the illegal immigrants. Allowed them to stay in your house. You would get a check from the government for $5,000 a month. They don't want to fix the issue, and that's why they don't like Trump. Now, I'm not trying to jump and, make this about Trump. It's just, Cruz does not want to fix it. Cruz's wife has been on committees and been part of the North American Alliance, or I forget the exact name of it, where it would be the United States, Mexico, and Canada would become one big country. Real constitutional, real American. And that's what we want in the White House. And that's some of the things they're pushing. It's a slow progression to go to a one world nation. Why do you think Bureau of Land Management, BLM, is pushing and taking up all this land? And if you notice, there are land that have water, and if you control the water, you control everything. But what you can't control is that the Reaver of Common Sense is on. and saying whatever he wants. You're listening to the Reaver Common Sense right here on HB Pundit Radio and SHR Media. Be right back after this break.
Media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Trying to make sense out of the senseless. And it is not going that good. Nope, it is not going good. But you know what's going good? The Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to show support for the show and SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store, pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a Reaver jersey, SHR Media jersey, and many other items. Don't forget tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on SHRmedia.com. It is a Reaver After Dark show hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash. So, Obama's running his mouth. Of course, when isn't he? And Trump blocking remittance would collapse Mexico's economy and increase migration. Tuesday at the White House press briefing, President Barack Obama addressed Republican candidate Donald Trump's plan to cut off funds sent to Mexico through money transferred called remittance unless Mexico paid for the border wall. Obama dismissed the viability of Trump's plan and argued it would increase migration into the United States from Mexico. I've been clear early that I'm getting questions constantly about some of the wackier suggestions that are being made. I have to emphasize it's not just Mr. Trump's proposal. You're hearing concerns about Mr. Cruz's proposal in some ways, just as draconian when it comes to immigration. For example, the implication with respect to ending remittance from illegal migrants and from individuals sending money back home to their family are enormous. First of all, they're impractical. Just talk about the difficulties of trying to enforce huge outflow of capital. The notion we're going to track every Western Union of money sent to Mexico, good luck with that. Well, the one thing he's talking about that pisses me off, and I'm tired of politicians bringing up, it would collapse Mexico's economy. So let's keep screwing ourselves over because we're worried about another country's economy. We can't do that. We can't. It would help us on our economy, but it would hurt this country and it'll drop their economy. Who gives a shit? Fix your own issues. Get your own house in order, then worry about everybody else. I'm sick and tired of worrying about everybody else's problems and not fixing ours. We got so many people that keep talking about these other countries. Who gives a shit? As much as I would like to be compassionate about everything, you got to worry about yourself, because if your own country isn't doing any good, how are you supposed to help other countries? We're importing more crap, and they're not taking our stuff. Our export is down, and it's killing jobs here in the United States. And we got a president that's worried about it would hurt Mexico's economy. Let Mexico worry about Mexico, and let's stop funding Mexico. Let's stop giving food stamps to Mexico. And if you didn't know, Mexicans can apply for food stamps in the United States while they live in Mexico and receive them. Then they wonder why our system's so screwed up when it comes to Social Security, disability, and welfare, and food stamps. There's so much abuse that's going on, it's ridiculous. We should be a country that is compassionate about its own people, willing to help its own people get a leg up and get started again and get working again. I have no problem helping. But I'm tired of the system's collapsing because we're giving money to everybody and anybody else. I know of people that have come to this country at retirement age because their country did not have any type of retirement fund. So they come to the United States. They've come here legally, but then they apply for retirement because they're a retirement age, and they've gotten it. Why are we paying for people who've never worked a day in the United States? Why are we worried about Mexico's economy when our own economy is doing shit? And then he goes on, we've got the issues of the implications for the Mexican economy, which in turn, if it's collapsing, sends more immigrants north because they can't find jobs back in Mexico. But this is one more example of something that is not through and through and primarily put forward for political consumption. And as I try to emphasize throughout, we got serious problems here. We got big issues around the world. People expect the President of the United States and the elected officials in this country to treat these problems seriously and put policies that would be examined and analyzed are effective, where unintended consequences are taken into action. They don't expect half-baked notions of the White House. We can't afford that. And what the fuck have you done for the past 7 years? Tell me, what have you done for the last 7 years? Because you haven't done shit for this country. Don't tell me the stock market up, because it's been artificially inflated. Our own government's been pumping money into the stock market to keep it up. And as soon as we stop funding it, it's going to collapse. He's more worried about helping out Iran and friggin' Cuba than he is about the United States. And as I said, I'm tired of worrying about other countries' economies. Let them worry about their economies. Get that goddamn border secured, and we don't have to worry so much about them coming into this country. I know we'll still have trickle in, but it's better than the flood that's going on. At least Trump and Cruz are floating ideas. What has Obama and the Democrats floated? Nothing. Their idea is to give amnesty to the illegal immigrants so that they can have more votes. When are we going to start worrying about ourselves? You know, the Democrats are always saying that we can't be the police of the world. Well, that also, when you do that, you can't be worried about everybody else's economy. You got to worry about fixing your own problems, getting your own problems straight before you start trying to worry about everybody else. Let them deal with their problems. Always worrying about everybody else, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off. We have veterans living in the street, but we're giving people that came here illegally housing. We have veterans living in the street without food. We have Americans living in the street without food, but we give food stamps to foreigners that are here illegally. We have veterans living in the street with no medical. And the VA is no help. But God forbid, all these illegal aliens, they got health care. They got free health care. More worried about fucking Mexico, Cuba, and Iran than we are our own vets. The ones that went and fought for this country, bled, put their lives on the line so they can come back and be treated like shit by liberals. Yes, I know, not all liberals act that way, but a majority of them are. I swear we've gone back in time and we're back into the 60s. And what I mean by that, we got friggin' hippies and these protests against the government, and our military is being treated like garbage. 60s and early 70s. It's disgusting. I'm embarrassed of some of these people in this country. The false propaganda that's being pushed around about what's going on in this country just so they can get uprisings. And there's always one name that keeps coming out of all these issues. George Soros. We're having that, what the hell they're going to call it, the democracy spring or whatever the hell that stupid shit is. Yeah, we have George Soros, who's back in that. He's involved in the invasion of Europe. The guy, he is banned from some countries. They see him as a danger. He is a danger to the United States. He is one helping fund these protests that are going on. Now the NAACP has joined Soros' army plotting D.C. disruption, civil disobedience, and mass arrest. The National Association for Advancement of Colored People says it's part of a coalition of left-wing groups planning a second wave of protests and mass civil disobedience scheduled to disrupt Washington, D.C. later this month. Many of the participating groups are backed by billionaire George Soros. The coalition, calling itself Democracy Awakening, is a 3-day activist movement that claims it is coming together to demand democracy that works for all of us, a nation where our votes are not denied and money doesn't buy access and power. It is a sister movement of the Democracy Spring, which is currently in the midst of a 10-day protest march from Philadelphia to D.C. with plans for a major escalation in D.C. on April 11th. And on that date, the group says it is plotting one of the largest civil disobedience actions in a generation. As of this writing, 3,404 activists specifically pledged online to participate in the main civil disobedience event and risk arrest on April 11th in D.C. And I have seen the flyers that they're passing around trying to get people to join up. And it's, you plan on getting arrested. What kind of dumbass idea is that? Oh, the whole idea is we're going to go to D.C. and we're going to cause problems and we're going to get arrested. We have to get arrested. That's the main thing. We got to get arrested. We have to have a record now. We're going to destroy the rest of our lives just so we can say we stood up to the government. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm going to take a little bit early break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reverb Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reverb of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. God bless it. There we go. Trying to make sense out of the senseless, and some of my electronics are really nutty. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe. Keep up to date. Put a comment. If you want to support the show, go to SHR Media. I always got to screw these up. I do. I swear. If you want to support the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. Don't forget, tonight, 8 p.m., right here on SHR Media, it is the Reaver After Dark show, hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash. So we're talking about these groups that are coming together, liberal groups that are coming together and to cause civil disobedience. Sound familiar? And basically try to get arrested. But right now they're marching from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. And it's funny, they flew all these people in, causing this huge carbon footprint so they could march on Washington, D.C. And it's all paid for by George Soros. After Democracy Spring begins to wind down, Democracy Awakened plans a second wave of revolutionary energy starting on Saturday, April 16th. Robert Weissman, president of Public Citizens, a group that says it champions citizens' interests, is a lead organizer of Democracy Awakened. Weissman told Breitbart News in an interview on Tuesday that the awakening moment's specific plans for direct actions are not yet finalized, but he said it will include civil disobedience and activists risking arrest. Asked why the group decided to take part in a Democracy Awakening, the NAACP Vice President for Communication and Digital Media told Breitbart News this presidential election will be the first in 50 years without the full protection of the Voting Rights Act. States with the worst history of discrimination are pushing for new barriers to block the youth, the poor, the elderly, and minority voters for the ballot in 2016. Congress has solutions to restore the integrity of the voting process and remove those barriers, but have so far failed to act on any of those legislative proposals. Democracy Awakening is our own way of coming together across all faith, political affiliation, and race and claim a democracy where every voice is heard and every vote counts equally. Soros groups signed on to Democracy Awakening included a lenity of Soros finance organizations. Those Soros finance groups include Move On, AVAAZ, Campaign for America's Future, Common Cause, Democracy of America, Democracy 21, Demos, Institute for Policy Studies, People for the American Way, Project Vote, and UHCAN. These are just a small section of the George Soros groups that he financed and pays for to disrupt and cause problems in the United States. Plus, he has his groups and his hands in the invasion of Europe. He is the one help financing for all the Muslims to be flooding in to Europe. And it's absolutely crazy. Weissman, Public Citizen, has also received significant financing from Soros Open Society. Soros Open Society has also given numerous grants to the NAACP Day of Action. Democracy Awakening is planning 3 days of teach-in, marches, film screenings, and even after-party. The marches aim to circle the Capitol to call on Congress to stand up for democracy and stop blocking the reforms we need. The so-called Direct Action Initiative commences on Monday, April 18th, with the coalition dubbing that the date of Congress of Conscience Day of Action. Holy shit, I cannot speak again today. Damn. The day seeks to end the movement through a full day of nonviolent direct action and advocacy. Let's see if they can keep it nonviolent, because really anymore, these groups do not stay peaceful. And it's their right to do this, but I just laugh that the right never does these protests because most people are too busy to work in. The left seems to somehow always find time and money to be protesting something. They're interfering with candidates' rallies. They've even blocked emergency vehicles to try to get their point across. And that makes me less likely to listen to them. Democracy Awakening requires activists who participate in the direct action to attend a training on Saturday and Sunday and or action briefing on Monday morning. So the protesters need to take a training class on how to protest. Okay, you take your right arm, you stick it up, and you hold a sign. You pull it down, you put it back up. Pull it down, put it back up. You're going to chant ABC, ABC, ABC. and you're going to march in that order, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B. Oh, you don't like march. All right. You just take your sign and march it up and down. Yay! Okay, that's class. That's right. On Democracy Awakening's website, on Monday, April 18th, hundreds will come together for a day of mass civil disobedience to save our democracy. We're a republic, but yeah. Will you be one of them? Together we'll push for Congress of conscience, one that stands up for our democracy rather than stands in its way. Oh, God. It is not looking good, I'll tell you that. This country is in disarray. And I wonder if we're going to make it out. I really do. I wonder if we're going to make it out. I wonder sometimes if we're going to be able to stay together, or will there be a split of this country? The conservatives are to the point they don't want anything to do with liberalism, and the liberals want nothing to do with conservatism. And it really does not look good. And I don't have an answer, and I don't think anybody has an answer. There's some ideas to float around, but one of the problems we've grown so big as a country with the amount of people. I know the land's been the same for many years, but the people. And trying to get all these people in the country to agree, it's not going to happen. And we got two different ideologies when it comes to political ideology, and they're so far apart anymore that even compromise seems impossible. And this isn't that the liberalism's the best way or conservatism's the best way. I've said for a long time now, going either way is not good. Too much of anything is not good. Radiation in small amounts can cure you of cancer. Radiation in large amounts, bad for you. Moderation of water, good for you. Large amount of water, bad for you. And yes, you can commit suicide by drinking water. And I'm not talking about, and I've said it before, but I'm not talking about, popping your bladder. You just oversaturate your cells. It's not good. Sometimes I wonder because we have those two factions, just the left and the right, and they've gotten so far apart. I don't know if they could work together anymore. I mean, do we split the country north and south? But you'd be splitting families too. And I'm not advocating secession from the United States. I'm it just seems both sides are so far off from each other. It's not good. I mean, look at Europe, what's going on there. And if you look at history, countries come and go. is it time that, Europe is looking at flipping over? I don't know. If I could see that and knew that, I'd probably be very rich. But the way things are going, I wonder about the country. Here in Florida, we have a Florida representative, Alan Grayson, and he's not very electable, but he is in an area in Orlando where he really doesn't have any competition. So he's been, reelected multiple times. Well, now he wants to step up and run for Marco Rubio's seat. And he's a Democrat, but the thing is, he's been told by multiple Democrats, no, stay where you're at. You're an unelectable person, and stay where you're at. You're going to lose this. And it looks like the Democrats are not exactly going to back him. And an independent ethics watchdog group is calling for a formal investigation of the Florida representative, Alan Grayson. The Office of Congressional Ethics issued a 74-page report released by the House Ethics Committee on Tuesday that says there is substantial reason to believe that Grayson violated House ethic rules and federal law by managing a hedge fund while serving as a member of Congress. It's one of several allegations made in the report, all of which led to unanimous recommendation for the investigation by a 6-member OCE board. The ethics problems could be a serious problem for Grayson's run for Senate. He's not well liked, even by his party. The man is repulsive, vile. Makes me wonder what's going on in Orlando that they keep electing this guy in. But now he wants to step up to the Senate. And polls show a tight battle with fellow Democrat Representative Patrick Murphy. The winner of the primary will face the victor of the crowded GOP primary for a chance to succeed Rubio, who declined to run for re-election in order to focus on his presidential campaign. Established Democrats have been unhappy with the candidacy of Grayson, a millionaire liberal known to voters across the country for his often colorful criticism of Republicans. While local groups have backed his run, other Democrats would prefer that he drop out of the race as they seek to regain the Senate majority. Democrats need to gain 4 seats to take back the chamber if they also retain the White House. Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid took the usual steps earlier this year of urging Grayson to drop out of the primary, mentioning the hedge fund controversy. He accused Grayson of using his position to unethically promote his Cayman Island hedge funds. Grayson responded by accusing Reid of bearing false witness against him. It's pathetic that someone would make a statement like that based upon a false accusation. Well, seems to be some truth behind it. It's not the first time you've been told by somebody not to run. Not Stark and Stark. Morgan & Morgan, it's a law firm down here. And the one Morgan has funded several runs for Democrats. He's the one that funded Charlie Crist, excuse me. I always get those two mixed up. Charlie Crist's run for Senate 4 years ago. And when Grayson called him up, and Morgan told him, I'm giving you advice that you should not run. Stay where you're at. You're unopposed in Orlando. You're perfect where you're at, but you're unelectable anywhere else. And Grayson's response was, I'm not asking for your permission. I'm not asking for advice. I'm asking for financial backing. The man... He's the epitome of the scumbag politicians. He's a perfect example. He is one of those that makes politicians look bad. Politicians are just it. And it's not because he's a Democrat. It's because of his actions are Disgusting. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by me, Jersey Joe, right here on High Plains Pundit Radio and SHR Media. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless, and it seems like my voice is going. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to SHR Media. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you like to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, do not forget to subscribe and comment. If you want to support the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store button. Pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a Reaver jersey. And many items to choose from. That sometimes gets to be a mouthful. Don't forget also tonight, 8 p.m., right here on SHR Media, it is the Reaver After Dark show hosted by me and Crash. That's right, Jersey Joe and Crash will be taking on today's topics. Now, where am I? Jumping around in my notes and kind of lost myself. There we are. So, Senate Democrats say they may try to force a vote on President Obama's nominee to the Supreme Court with an unusual procedural tactic. There are many procedural things we could do, Harry Reid stated Tuesday when asked about the possibility of using a discharge resolution to bypass Republicans. That's one thing we can do. Certainly we've got that in our arrow quiver to do that and other things. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley said last week that the Republicans can't stop Reid from at least attempting the maneuver. There's nothing we can do about it under the rules of the United States Senate. That resolution can be offered any time. Reid emphasized, however, that he's in no rush to fill such a resolution or motion. He and his Democrat colleagues want to keep the pressure on Republicans to hold hearings on the nominee of Judge Merrick Garland, believing they have the upper hand in the public relations battle. You know what? I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. The Democrats, they have the best PR department. They are lying, underhanded, corrupt, but their public relations, oh my God. They could probably rob a bank and be made to look like Robin Hood as they take all the money and don't give anything up. I'm not saying they would. I'm trying to make an analogy. The obligation for them to hold hearings and to have a vote, that's in the Constitution, Reid said. Right now, we think we're in a good place. The pressure's on them, not on us. A senior Democrat aide described the discharge resolution as a last resort, but Republicans, by and large, have brushed off the pressure tactics. They argue that Reid took a different view in 2005 when Democrats were blocking then-President George W. Bush judicial nominees. The duties of the Senate are set forth in the Constitution of the United States. Nowhere in that document does it say the Senate has the duty to give presidential nominees a vote. Reid said it on the Senate floor nearly 11 years ago. It says appointees shall be made with the advice and consent of the Senate. That is very different than saying every nominee receives a vote. The discharge resolution has not been tried in recent memory, so few Senate insiders know exactly how the process would work. And it's funny, what really makes me laugh about this whole process, the Republicans are doing exactly what the Democrats have done multiple times. Biden has led the charge several times on blocking nominations. Reid has tried it. Obama was part of it. Hillary Reid was a part of it. They all tried blocking nominees. During George Bush 43, I think it was, 18 months to go in his presidential stay, and they said he did not have a right because he was almost out of office. 18 months. Now we have less than a year left. Less than a year. Republicans are saying the exact same thing, and the Democrats are saying, nope, it's different. That was different. These are the same people that try to block time and time again. They did it throughout God knows how long and how many times they've done it. But to be specific, Biden, Obama, Reid, they did it themselves. And now because the shoe's on the other foot, we were wrong for that. We're sorry. We should just go on from there and let everything be done. No. You brought this upon yourself. The Democrats brought this on themselves. But, of course, we all know the Republicans are going to fold sooner or later. That's their MO. They've done it time and time again. They'll fold. And you're already seeing it. There's senators that are starting to buckle at the knees. But how this procedure would work, essentially Reid or another Democrat would offer a motion to proceed to a resolution to discharge Garland from the Judiciary Committee. That would first require Democrats to win a simple majority vote to move into executive sessions. If achieved, Democrats would have to overcome a 60-vote hurdle to consider the motion to discharge, according to a senior Democrat aide. All in all, Democrats would need to keep their rank unified and persuade 14 Republicans to vote with them to pull the Garland out of the committee. A seemingly implausible scenario. Republicans control 54 seats, Senate seats, while Democrats have 46. Yet Grassley last week implied it would be a difficult vote for Republicans given Garland's credential and the general view that he is more moderate than other potential Democrat nominees. Whenever they take this vote, whether it would be based on confirming the nomination or whether it's based on discharge, it's still going to be a tough vote, Grassley said. Only two Republicans, Senator Susan Collins and Mark Kirk, support holding confirmation hearings for Garland, a well-regulated jurist with nearly 2 decades of service on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. Collins praised the nominee after meeting him Tuesday and urged her colleagues to hold a public review instead of rejecting him out of hand. Told you. I also read part of the article, so. But I even said before that the Republicans are going to fold, and they're starting to do it. You have 2 now that are already swaying. So you need 3 more, and guess what? The Democrats would have over 50. And it's not that hard to start turning some other heads. Collins praised the nominee after meeting him Tuesday and urged her colleagues to hold a public review instead of rejecting him out of hand. My views are not a secret to my colleagues. I would encourage all of my colleagues to sit down with Judge Garland. I believe that's how the process should work, and works best when we have these one-on-one meetings, followed by public hearings. Kirk called Garland one of the most eminent jurists in the country after meeting with him last week. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's conference has mostly held the line, arguing that the court's vacancy should be left to the next president. The number of Republican senators who support hearing was initially 4, but Morawski and Moran reversed themselves after getting some strong pushback from GOP leaders and conservative activists. Mike Pompeo, damn, I'm messing up a lot of people's name, and oh well, who may be eyeing a primary challenge against Moran, criticized him for even opening the door to hearings. I have constantly said and continue to believe that it is a hopeless and dangerous naive for Senate Moran to expect that President Obama would appoint a believer in the appropriate judicial role and basically interpretation of the United States Constitution. Reid insisted Tuesday that Democrats have momentum in the fight over Garland. We feel we're making progress, he said, noting that 20 editorials have been written in Iowa criticizing Grassley's decision not to hold hearings. The Des Moines Register wrote Monday that Grassley seems just fine with stalemate, referring to the 2 4-4 ties on the Supreme Court since the late conservative Justice Scalia died in March of mid-February. Reid added that Grassley now has a more competitive re-election race. Democrats have recruited former Iowa Lieutenant Governor Patty Judge, the toughest opponent he has faced in years. No one thought he would have a race. This is a real drag race on the Republicans. And the Republicans have been shooting themselves in the foot with their supporters. So, I don't know what's going to go on when it comes to the Senate. I really don't. The Republicans have pissed everybody off. And they think we're going to blindly sit there and keep following them. They think we're going to blindly do whatever we're told. Well, it seems you have a little civil war on your hands. Reid noted that more than a dozen Senate Republicans have argued or agreed to meet with Garland, although most have made clear they will do so only as a courtesy. In addition to Kirk and Collins, at least 15 other Republicans have voiced willingness to meet. Senator Kelly, I'm not even trying that one. Boozman, Cassidy, Flake, Grassley, Hatch, Johnson, Lankford, Moran, Mukrowski, Portman, Rounds, Rubio, Toomey. Funny, Rubio now wants to talk with him. Oyet, Portman, Flake, and Murkowski are scheduled to meet with him next week. They're going to fold. I'm making a prediction that they're not going to hold out until January 20th. They're going to fold. They're going to have hearings, and they're going to confirm them because the Republicans have no balls. They do not know how to fight. Kind of funny, the party of the Warhawks, that's what they're always called, does not have the balls to fight. They'll lay down to the Democrats. They'll lay down faster than a $2 hooker. Oh, that will get me in trouble, I bet. Hate mail will flow in on that one. And I don't care. I am tired. I am sick and tired of the Republicans telling us they're going to stand up and fight for conservative values, then fold like a cheap suit. Not even compromise. I would not mind compromise, but they will fold like a cheap suit. They will give in. They will believe whenever Harry Reid says. I don't know what the hell that man has over these people, but they constantly seem to believe him. It's also the same man that said, if there's a government shutdown, the Republicans will never win another election. And they went on to win the House and the Senate. Harry Reid's always screaming, the sky is falling, and the Republicans believe it every single goddamn time. I'm not surprised to hear Marco Rubio's name in there. I really am not. And I'm surprised. Well, no, because the polls say that he shouldn't. So Cruz is against it. We're in trouble, people. This country is... I don't know. Maybe I have a bleak look today. It's just... Every day, it just seems like there's more and more crap piling up, and it doesn't look good for the country. Doesn't look good for the world. I mean, everywhere I look, all these issues that are going on, it's getting worse and worse. And nobody can agree on anything. I bet you if we went outside right now and we were all in the same area, nobody could agree. Or... we couldn't get a constant of what color the sky is. There would be arguments all over the place. Nobody could agree. It is not looking good, and it scares the crap out of me. What kind of world am I leaving my daughter? That's why I keep fighting with the show. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on High Plains Radio and SHR Media. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here at shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, as I screw everything up today. Yep, I'm just making mistakes after mistakes, but hey, it happens. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe to it. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, Reaver jersey. So Jersey has a jersey. Or a Jersey Joe jersey, whichever way you want to look at it. Also tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m., you have Reaver After Dark, hosted by the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash right here on shrmedia.com. Dang. There we go. Let's see. It seems like Europe is going to abolish itself. In other words, it's going to hell in a handbasket, and Angela Merkel is driving it. But as I said, it looks like it's abolishing itself, and it's Angela Merkel's fault. A combination of Islamist terror and badly designed migration policy is going to destroy Europe, claims a Swiss member of parliament who said Angela Merkel and Islam are to blame. I would believe that. The comments by Swiss People's Party, SVP, members of parliament are just the latest by a high-profile European politicians on the demise of the continent. His remarks, which appear in his own daily newspaper, could not be clearer. When he remarked on Europe's growing instability, the German refuge policy could trigger a new world war. You know what? I have to agree with it. And I think we're at the beginning of a World War III. I've been saying it for about a year now. I just don't think we realize where we're at because it is a different style. It is totally different than what we're used to. Comparing the megalomaniacs, we can do it, mentality of Angela Merkel and others to Europe on the eve of the First World War, the editorial foresaw a situation where millions of ordinary Europeans would pay dearly for a situation manufactured by their leaders. Those in charge would now, as then, not have to pay for their mistakes at all. The people in all these countries have said they do not want this mass migration into their countries. And, of course, the leaders go, you don't know what's good for you. We know what's best. And who's paying the price? Not the politicians. Whether we're talking Europe, Russia, Japan, China, Middle East, South America, or even the United States or Canada. The ones that pay the price are the people. And when the politicians don't listen to what the people want, it is the people that pay for it. When these politicians fuck up and make the mistakes, it is the people that pay for it. Then they wonder why the citizens are getting tired of them. You're not listening to the people. Europe, you're not listening to your people. God, don't you hate when you got to sneeze and you're like just right there and then it fades away? Writing in the newspaper, of which he is the editor-in-chief, the parliamentary wrote, the basic problem today is Islam. The attacks in Paris, Brussels are acute symptoms of an incorrect, sick immigration policy, criticizing the infiltration of the death-seeking fanatics and madmen. Islam endangers the survival of our citizenship. Integration was one of the key issues facing Europe with many terrorists having been born in Europe and holding European passports, but by being culturally completely foreign. He said the arrival of millions of Muslims for North Africa and Middle East increases the risk of terrorism in Europe significantly. The vast majority of migrants do not bring the conditions of successful integrations into our competitive economy. Calling the European Turkey deal bankruptcy. He remarked the EU was merely outsourcing the responsibility eastward to the autocrat. Whoa. This is not a deal, but a submission. And that's what it seems like to the people. Maybe not all the people see it, but a majority of the people are seeing it. Seems like they're trying to force Islam onto the people. It seems like our leaders are pushing for another war. I guess it's their idea of how to control population. Is there racism coming about against Muslims? Yes, because things are being forced on people. They're already being called racist when they say they don't want something or they don't agree with something. Just because you don't agree does not make you a racist, but people are pushing that so much. Our leaders are pushing it. It's pushing the people. And what's scary is it's not just one country. It seems to be all the countries of the world, or a majority of them. I know we have that in the United States. The people are getting sick and tired of what the government's doing, pushing on us. Canada is starting to get that way. Scotland, England, France, Germany. The list goes on and on and on. And what's funny is there's more of us than there are politicians. And we allow them to push us around. A number of other senior figures have recently spoken of the deteriorating security picture in Europe recently. It's reported in January on Hungarian leader comments in which he called the continent dying. The threat of terrorism is increasing and public safety is deteriorating. One is not allowed to say such things in Europe. It is forbidden. And some countries will not even broadcast what I'm about to say. But the situation is that European citizens are living under a threat, especially the vulnerable ones, women, and those who are unable to defend themselves. I said it yesterday. It's funny that in the 30s and 40s, we fought a world war to stop the spread of the evil, socialism, censorship, so that the European countries can be free. And what do we have now? All the countries of the Allies are now adopting what we fought against. The censorship, the scrubbing of the news, the pushing to control the people, telling them what to think, what to do. All that is what we fought against in World War II. And the allies that fought against it are now adopting it. All those hundreds of thousands of millions that gave their life during World War II, it was for nothing. Because now all the Allied countries are turning into what it fought against. And that's sad. That is deplorable. And I don't have the answers to any of it. And to be truthful, I've been waiting for the knock on my door for me saying that. For what I just said. I've been saying today and yesterday and multiple times on my show. I'm waiting for the knock on the door from the government. I am not promoting violence. I'm not promoting a civil war. I am not promoting any type of war. What I'm trying to do is just wake people up. The more people that get involved, the better. And maybe we can start solving some of the problems if people stop sticking their head in the sands and start hitting it head on. Hopefully, some people will wake up and we can start getting the world out of this reverso world. It seems like the whole world has gone into reverse. Remember tonight, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., Reaver After Dark with its hosts Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Crash, right here on shrmedia.com. And if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Reaver of Common Sense show. Have a good day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.